What is good, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. If you're new, make sure you subscribe. If you do happen to enjoy the video, do me a huge favor by leaving a like. It really helps out the video as well as the channel. And before I do get into the video, I did want to put last video shout out on the screen. And if you do want a chance to be shouted out in the next video, make sure you leave a like on this video as well as let me know which Vegeta figure in today's video is your favorite Vegeta figure. And with that being said, kick back, grab a snack, and let's get into it. The SH Figuarts Dragonball line would kick off in 2010 with Tamashi's very first release being a manga-inspired Piccolo figure. And not too long after that, Dragon Ball fans will be able to get their very own SH Figuarts Vegeta. And that is where our story starts. This is the evolution of SH Figuarts Vegeta. Now, the very first SH Figuarts Vegeta we did get was nonetheless a 1.0 Super Saiyan Vegeta. And again, just like the release of their Piccolo, this Vegeta figure was heavily inspired by the manga colors. As you can see, this Vegeta figure does have lighter blue on it as well as a lighter tan color on the armor instead of the yellow that we're prone to seeing. And this is because it's based heavily on the manga and not the anime. And even with that being the case, I really do like how this figure looks. I love how Figuarts back then had all this shading on it. It's something that I feel like Figuarts is definitely missing right now, but I understand that they're trying to go for a more one-to-one accurate look with the anime now. Even with that being the case, like I said, I really love the shading on this figure. Even for this being a 1.0 Figuarts, I really like the look of this Vegeta. And for me personally, that is big because I really don't like a lot of the 1.0 Figuarts. They have definitely aged compared to the figures that we do have now. Like I said, with this figure, I really do like how it looks. I feel like they definitely captured the look of Vegeta in the face. It's crazy because if I'm not mistaken, they used to hand paint these faces compared to how they 3D print them now. Yeah, man, I don't really have anything else to say about the figure other than, like I said, for a 1.0 Vegeta figure, it looks really good. So with that being said, let's get into the next one. Now, the second Vegeta figure that Tamashi would release would be nonetheless the 1.0 Scouter Vegeta. Again, for a 1.0 Figuarts, I really like how this figure looks. This is probably one of the 1.0 Figuarts that I still will end up picking up. I love that this figure does have the shading on it. Again, that's something that I feel like is missing when it comes to figures now. And another thing with these older Figuarts figures, they all had a matte finish to them, so they all look premium as compared to some of the figures that we get today that do have more of a gloss or satin finish on it. I just feel like back then they definitely looked a little bit more premium compared to our figures now. And yeah, man, like I said, I really do like this Vegeta figure. It also does have a more manga style color to it. Again, you have them lighter blues, and you also have that lighter tan color on the armor instead of it being a bright yellow. And yeah, man, like I said, for this to be a 1.0 Figuarts, I definitely like how it looks. Like I said, at some point in time, I definitely will be picking this thing up for my collection. And yeah, man, y'all let me know down in the comments if you prefer this 1.0 Scouter Vegeta over the 2.0. With that being said, let's get into the next. The third Vegeta figure Tamashi would end up releasing would be yet another Scouter Vegeta. However, this Scouter Vegeta would definitely be different than the last. As you can see, this Vegeta figure does have Vegeta's very first appearance colors on the armor. I can't remember for the life of me which planet him and Nappa was on when you first seen him like this. Nonetheless, this is the colors that he originally had before they actually ended up changing it. This has got to be one of the most rare SH Figuarts figures to date, which honestly never makes sense to me considering how ugly this figure is. Now, that is just my personal opinion. I have never liked this look of Vegeta. I don't even like it in figure form either. And it's crazy for the simple fact that Vegeta is literally my favorite Dragon Ball character. So I'm for sure glad that they ended up changing the color on his armor because I'm just not messing with it. As far as this figure, I honestly don't have too much to say about it because, like I said, I just really don't like the figure itself. It's just ugly to me. Now, I'm not going to say the overall figure is bad considering it pretty much is the same as the regular Scouter Vegeta. It just has different colors on it. So the figure itself isn't bad. The overall look of it is because, like I said, I just never liked this color. So with that being said, let's get into the next one. Now, the fourth Vegeta figure that Tamashi did end up releasing did happen to be the same exact Vegeta figure as the previous Super Saiyan release. However, this figure was named the Premium Edition one. That is because the color on this figure is completely different than the original one. That being that this figure is more based on the anime colors. And yeah, man, just like the last Super Saiyan 1.0, I'm not gonna lie, it does look good. Even to this day, I feel like the Vegeta figures still look good. Again, this one does have the darker blue as well as that brighter yellow on the armor that makes it more closer to the anime as compared to the original release that was more based on the manga. Yeah, man, there really isn't too much to say on it considering it is pretty much the same exact figure, just a different color. And yeah, y'all let me know which one looks better to you, this one or the original release. And with that being said, let's get into the next one. The fifth Vegeta figure that Tamashi would end up releasing would be nonetheless the 1.0 Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta figure. And again, yet another figure that I definitely would pick up to this day because I really do like how this Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta looks. Even Even with it being a 1.0 body, I don't think this Vegeta looks dated at all. He definitely captured the look of Vegeta in Dragon Ball Super when he did wear that armor, because I feel like they definitely did good on the overall sculpt and the color of the armor itself. And yeah, man, this one is definitely still a good looking figure. But with that being said, let's get into the next one. The next Figuarts Vegeta figure that we would see be released would end up shocking a lot of collectors that was currently collecting the line. And that would be because this is the very first Vegeta figure to utilize the brand new 2.0 articulation. Not only that, but this figure would look leagues better than the previous release 1.0 Vegetas, with the overall more accurate depiction of Vegeta as well as a more accurate body. Every SH Figuarts Dragon Ball collector scrambled to get their hands on this figure during that time. Yeah, man, I honestly can see why. During this time period, I was not currently collecting Figuarts, but I did used to watch review videos of them on YouTube, and I can tell you right now, even from somebody on the outside looking in back then when I didn't collect these things, I could see every reason why somebody would want this over the older 1.0 ones. Considering, like I said, it just looks leagues better, and then the articulation was ahead of its time. But with that being said, let's get into the next one. Now, with Tamashii just releasing a newer 2.0 Super Saiyan Vegeta, they did end up right after that releasing a brand new Scouter Vegeta with the brand new 2.0 mode. Yeah, man, I ain't even gonna lie, this is one of them figures that when I do get it in hand, it is for sure gonna be one of my grails, because I've always, even back then when I didn't even collect these things, wanted this specific Vegeta figure, because like I said, Vegeta is my favorite Dragon Ball character. And not only that, but the Saiyan Saga look on Vegeta has always been my favorite look. So this figure to this day is definitely a must-have for me. I definitely will be picking this up at some point. And even by today's standards, I still feel like this figure does look really good to me. I feel like the faces definitely could have been better, but I'm not really tripping off of it. Like I said, I still feel like it looks really good. Now, the next Vegeta figure that Tamashii would end up releasing would be nonetheless the Majin Vegeta with the 2.0 body. Yeah, man, as far as this figure, I really don't have too much to say about it, considering I just never liked the look or the Buu Saga in general. So I honestly don't really have too much to say about this one. With that being said, let's get into the next one. Now, the next figure that Tamashii did end up releasing was the Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta from the Dragon Ball Super Broly movie. And I just like the overall look of this Vegeta figure. I feel like they definitely captured the exact look that he had in the movie. I really like how they went with that darker blue on Vegeta, specifically in this Broly movie. I feel like it was definitely the best looking outfit we've seen on Vegeta so far. And yeah, man, I just really like the overall look of this Vegeta figure. I feel like they also captured that Super Saiyan Godhead sculpt perfectly as well. And I don't really have too much to say about this one, considering I feel like I said, definitely is a one-to-one recreation of what we seen in the movie itself, and definitely nonetheless a perfect figure. I do actually have a review of this on the channel, so if you do want to check that out, make sure you do. But with that being said, let's get into the next one. Coming in at number 10 was a figure I honestly never seen Tamashii actually trying to release, but they did actually pull it off, and that would be Vegeta's Grade 8 form. And I still to this day cannot believe they actually did end up releasing this figure. I'm for sure picking this thing up for the new collection that I'm building with y'all. I definitely cannot wait to have this thing personally in hand. I do know that when this did originally come out, a lot of people was mad about the overall scale of it, saying it could be bigger than what it was. But at the end of the day, you really gotta think logically when it comes to stuff like this. If they were to actually release an actual to scale Grade 8 Vegeta, nobody would really buy it like that, considering the price would be around like 700 to 800, and Tamashii wouldn't make a profit off of something like that, and not a lot of people gonna buy something like that. So of course they had to make it smaller in scale. But honestly, me personally, I don't really see too much wrong with the scale. I feel like it definitely still fits in perfectly fine with the other Dragon Ball figures you do have. And on top of that, the figure itself just looks really good. I love the sculpt on this thing. I'm loving the colors and everything, and just the overall anime accuracy. I still can't believe to this day they ended up releasing something like this. But like I said, I definitely will be in the future picking this up for the collection. And honestly, with the way things been going with the channel, it might actually be way sooner than later. I do know that I got a really big surprise for y'all coming up very soon, so make sure you definitely subscribe for that. But with that being said, let's get into the next one. The next Vegeta figure that we did end up getting from Tamashii was actually not too long ago, and that was nonetheless the Dragon Ball Superhero Vegeta. Now, I did have this Vegeta multiple times, and I will be ordering it again for probably like the 7th time at this point, and that right there should let you know how good this Vegeta figure is. And it's crazy because this specific figure is the figure that actually made me end up liking this outfit on Vegeta. Honestly, I feel like the darker blue is what ended up actually making me like the outfit. Like I said, on Majin Vegeta, I just never liked it. I never liked that style on Vegeta. But yeah, man, overall figure itself, like I said, I've owned it multiple times, so that should tell you how good it is already. Every time I owned it, it had really good QC. The face sculpts itself are definitely top tier. And if we really think about it, this is the 3rd base form Vegeta we've ever gotten. We've only got 3 base form Vegetas ever. Nonetheless, I really do like this Vegeta figure. It's definitely a really good figure. But with that being said, let's get into the next one. Coming into the next Vegeta figure that Tamashii did end up giving us would be nonetheless the Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta from Dragon Ball GT. Now, I'm not gonna really have too much to say about this figure because it honestly don't look bad. I just hate Dragon Ball GT. I somehow managed to watch it when I was a kid and actually liked it, but when I try to rewatch it as an adult, I just could not put myself through it. It is actually trash. So at this point in time, I just act like Dragon Ball GT just never happened. It's not canon or anything like that to me. I would honestly put it in the same trash bag as the Dragon Ball Evolution movie. Yeah, man, like I said, I don't really have too much to say about this one considering I just don't like Dragon Ball GT. Now, the figure itself doesn't look bad. It actually does look really good. I don't really have too much else to say on it. With that being said, let's get into the next. Now, the next Vegeta figure we did end up getting is a figure I actually did own in a previous collection. I will be buying it again. And I do also have a review on this figure on the channel, but the figure I am talking about is nonetheless the Super Saiyan Blood Awakening 2.0 Vegeta. After owning this figure so many times, I can tell you right now, this still got to be one of the best Vegeta figures to date. And it's crazy how so many people talk crazy about this figure when it was announced, but then turn around and ended up buying it because they seen how good this figure actually is. It's still crazy to me how accurate this figure is to the actual anime itself. The 3D print on these faces are insane, and it's crazy because I didn't think I was gonna like this figure before I ended up getting it, and that's because they decided to go with a metallic paint on the hair instead of making it matte like they usually do. I thought before I got this thing in hand that was ugly, and I really didn't like it. Yet when I got it in hand, it was the complete opposite. Because like I said, this definitely is one of the best Vegeta figures to date. Yeah, man. With that being said, let's get into the next one. Now, the next Vegeta figure that Tamashii did actually announce was yet another repaint, just like the previous one. That repaint would happen to be an exclusive version of the Majin Vegeta figure. Again, not too much of a difference from the original release. The figure does have that more metallic look to the hair, as well as the blue is a brighter blue compared to the other blue that was on the original release. But other than that, there really isn't too much of a difference. With that being said, let's get into the next one. Now, the next Vegeta figure we did end up getting was a reissue of the Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta from the Broly movie. It is just literally a reissue of that original figure, so I'm not going to spend any time on it. So with that being said, let's get into the next one. Now, the last Vegeta figure that we recently just had come out would be the 24K Vegeta figure, and this does happen to be Vegeta at the beginning of the Frieza saga. He does put some newer armor on, but it doesn't have that bottom piece that he had in the Saiyan saga. And yeah, man, this figure does look good. I just never really liked the chest proportions on this thing, and I do get what they were trying to go for, but to me, it just still doesn't look accurate to the anime. His chest was only that big in a couple scenes, and that is because they have different animators working on different scenes. I really don't know why they went with this specific look to the chest. It just looks super weird to me. Yeah, man, that would happen to be the last Vegeta figure that we did recently get that was released recently. But before I do go, there was 2 more Vegeta figures that was announced, and they are on the way. That being yet another Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta that will be released sometime in November. And then it was also just announced that we'll be getting yet another Frieza Saga Vegeta. This specific Vegeta sporting the older battle armor. And yeah, man, that was every SH Figuarts Vegeta we have ever gotten from Tamashii. That does make 18 Vegeta figures in total. Still, what's so crazy to me is there's 18 Vegeta figures, but only 3 base form Vegetas. I will literally never understand it. But with that being said, y'all let me know which one of these Vegeta figures is your favorite in your collection. If you enjoyed the video, make sure you leave a like. You new, make sure you subscribe. Till that I'm out, stay tuned.